Pro Group Management. Workers' comp that works for you.
This is 7 at 7 from the Las Vegas Review-Journal.
Good evening, I'm Jen Ah. An update to a top story we've been following, sponsored by Carnegie Heights. The Real Water Company is now asking retailers to pull its products off their shelves. That's after a Las Vegas family filed a lawsuit claiming the company's bottled water was making them sick. The FDA is also investigating reports of at least 5 children with acute non-viral hepatitis after drinking Real water. The company's president saying in part, quote, "Our goal is to diligently work with the FDA to achieve a swift resolution," and that any customer who has purchased Real water from a retailer is asked to return the product. The Review-Journal also spoke with one woman who drank Real water for less than a month.
My liver shut down, my kidneys shut down, my electrolytes were upside down. I was in the hospital 9 days for testing, and the only thing that changed in my diet was I was drinking Real water.
Another top story tonight. If you head over to Las Vegas's Chinatown, you may notice an increased police presence. That's after the Atlanta shooting rampage on Tuesday, where 8 people were killed in 3 spas, a majority of them Asian women. This afternoon, Metro Police say they've deployed extra units in Vegas's Chinatown after business owners there expressed fear for their safety.
The community outreach program that Metro has is the best I've ever seen, and it is truly built on trust and transparency. First and foremost, hate crimes against any race should never be tolerated.
The Asian American community relying on Metro Police to prevent copycat incidents.
So we all have a vested interest in this through our key community stakeholders and our residents to come to the table and be part of solutions and make this community safer.
In your health news, sponsored by 4M Dental, love your smile again. Some good news for the state. Governor Steve SISOLAK marking a big milestone that more than 1 million COVID-19 vaccines have been administered in Nevada.
It's been just about a year since we all learned about social distancing and began buying and making masks to wear while in public. And yet, with just a few months of our vaccines having arrived in our state, our healthcare heroes have helped give 1 million of them to willing recipients.
SISOLAK also encouraging Nevadans to recognize their COVID vaccine heroes by emailing nevadahero-of-the-day@gmail.com. At the same time, health officials say that doesn't mean you don't need to get tested for COVID. Review-Journal's Renee Summerhour explains why. Renee?
Jen, according to epidemiologist Dr. Brian Labus with UNLV, quote, people seem to have shifted away from any interest in testing and are focusing completely on vaccination. And despite encouraging disease metrics, COVID-19 is still circulating in Nevada.
We need that to track the spread of the virus in the community. If we just abandon testing altogether, we wouldn't know where the disease is and where we're going. We need those trend lines to make decisions.
For more on this developing story, log on to lvrj.com.
Sports, sponsored by Scenic Brewing Company. With this sports update, I'm Cassie Soto. UNLV basketball head coach TJ Otzelberger is on his way to Iowa State. As first reported by Las Vegas Review-Journal sports writer Sam Gordon, UNLV will now be on the hunt for the program's 6th head coach in the past 10 years. And as NFL free agency ramps up, the Raiders have agreed to terms with Cardinals running back Kenyan Drake. Drake has signed a 2-year deal worth $11 million. Vinny Bonsignor has the latest.
And as we've seen these last couple of years with Josh Jacob, it's important to be able to have a viable alternative to Josh, just to be able to keep Josh healthy throughout the long haul. You know, Kenyan catching the ball out of the backfield, I think, is going to be a big part of the Raiders offense moving forward. And I think that what he's able to do, the versatility that he creates, especially in the red zone now, I think is going to be a big factor in that side of the field. And we know that they have struggled scoring touchdowns in the red zone. You put another weapon out there, in that situation, I think it's going to really help.
Here's the latest in sports betting. 3 years after Loyola-Chicago made a magical run to the Final Four, the Ramblers are back in the NCAA tournament, and so is Sister Jean, their 101-year-old chaplain. Loyola-Chicago is one of the sharp plays in Friday's first round. The number 8 seed opened as a 2-point favorite over number 9 seed Georgia Tech and has been bet up to a 5.5-point favorite with the news that Yellow Jacket star Moses Wright will miss the game. For more sharp plays and best bets, go to lvrj.com.
Now it's time for your weather, sponsored by Las Vegas Paiute Tribal Smoke and Cigar Shop. What a beautiful day today. As for tonight, you can see we're dipping down to the cool 50s. However, we can expect today's warmth to carry over to Friday. We'll be hitting the low 80s tomorrow with mostly sunny skies. For your weekend, temps will cool off with highs in the 70s on Saturday and 60s on Sunday. Pretty much the same for the beginning of next week. We also want to warn you there'll be some strong winds here and there. Your business news, sponsored by Bank of Nevada, Bank on Accountability. For the first time in a year, Las Vegas's jobless rate is below double digits. While that's good news, we know this tourism-dependent valley is still lagging behind compared to other cities across the state. We're just barely below double digits at 9.9%. State officials saying that casinos and resorts starting to reopen is an encouraging sign, but expect some challenges before we fully recover. In your entertainment news, sponsored by Las Vegas Motor Speedway. One club takes you back to the 20s. Review Journal's John Katslamides tells us more.
1923 Prohibition Bar has been a thing at Mandalay Bay for quite a while, but it's moved locations to upstairs from its old location on the casino floor. And Nieve Malandra, a popular singer in Las Vegas, is now singing in residency every Saturday night beginning at 9 p.m.
I can show you good time.
Nieve rocks the house. She's been a popular singer for about 10 years in Las Vegas, and this looks like a very cool hang indeed.
In your lifestyle news, sponsored by Get Healthy Clark County. For those of you wanting a taste of Nevada's history, just a few hours away from Vegas, you have the BELVADA Hotel. Right on Main Street in Tonopah, this building was first built in town in 1906. A former Nevada State Bank and apartment building. The building sat vacant for 20 years before a California couple purchased it in 2017. Get this, for $1. It was described as a pigeon haven, falling apart, but the couple reopened late last year as the luxurious BELVADA Hotel, saving a bit of history. That's a wrap for tonight's 7 at 7. I'm Jen Ah. Catch us on the RJ mobile app, Amazon Fire TV, and so much more. Plus, watch 7 at 7 a.m. bright and early. Good night.
Review Journal Studio, sponsored by Adam Kuttner. Get the maximum settlement as quickly as possible. This 7 at 7 update, sponsored by Pro Group Management. You're watching 7 at 7 from the Las Vegas Review Journal.